Hello everyone, welcome back once more into Anime Yay or Nay. It is week 10 of our summer anime watching thing, and things were happening this week. How's everybody
Yeah.
feeling?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm the Outback Al.
I'm hot for
You were
justice.
waiting on me to do that, weren't you?
Uh, Actually, no. I'm Chibi Doob.
And I'm NV Jitters.
Yeah. Um, should we just get into it and get going?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
We, Copcraft. So,
I gotta say, Chibi, you 100% called it from your prediction last week. You said the body switching plot would be solved 10 minutes into the episode, and
that was pretty much 10 minutes, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. And we're moving on to other plots, but we should, yeah. So Tilly went chasing garbage, and then they found the garbage truck, but it's not exactly easy to get garbage back after you throw it away. So a cat goes into a dumpster, and yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what else happened? I'm forgetting a
That
little bit.
happened, and then they're at a pool party, and they find out one of the candidates for mayor was killed.
Oh, we should mention that the crossbow got destroyed by a
Yeah,
trash grinder,
which
and that's
is-
how Tilly
yeah,
got her
which is
body
how-
back.
Yeah, that was the thing.
So, and then she beat up the dude who didn't I say that guy was like going to be part of the one of the bad guys? The guy from customs or whatever.
Um, Repeat that, please.
The dude from whatchamacallit, the government agent guy who kept like bugging Kay and was all like, "Hey, I need the information on these contraband stuff," and it's like, yeah, of course he was the bad guy.
Right.
Oh,
Because he
yeah.
wanted to sell it.
Yeah, and he he was beating up on Tilly's body while she wasn't in the body, and then she came back and she just freaking wrecked him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was on the verge of killing him. But
Well,
Fortunately,
he
Kay got
was
back in
slapping
time.
her around, so
Yeah.
I can't exactly blame her.
no, but I think the reason she wanted to kill him was because he saw her butt.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
a thing.
So that's a little bit more of a thing in that regard, I guess. But yeah, yeah, they clean that one up pretty quickly, and then they're off to some other off to the they go to a pool party because that's what you do afterwards. And they're seeing mayor stuff happening on TV, and one of them got shot.
Yep.
So it was an elf. I know they're not elves, but we're calling them elves for this. They're
Samanian.
yeah, whatever. That's an elf. An elf shot a human candidate for mayor, and some people getting up in arms about that because it's like, oh no. And their chief, who's a much nicer guy than we gave him credit for in the beginning, is saying to them, "Hey, I need you to go over and check out this body because you never know, man. This could be like some magic shit, and we don't need that happening right now."
And I don't want to tell my people to keep a watch for wizards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
yeah.
line.
That was actually probably my favorite line of the episode.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good line. And so they go sniff the body, and it was covered in magic,
Anyway,
and so it was another zombie
so
body.
there's- Yeah.
Yep. Carmen Zalata Dada is back, and just like we were predicting, he was back, and he's messing with the mayoral candidates, and we don't know why yet because we only got half of an episode to devote to this. But there's some
It's plot
civil
again.
unrest. Yes, it is plotting again. But there's civil unrest going on between, I guess, elf people and humans, and even the cops are getting racist.
Yeah.
Good old stuff.
And then we get shippy, and I was just, okay, I'm done.
You got what?
It got shippy. Stop.
Is that really gonna be a thing? I don't like. Kay does not even seem remotely.
I'm
like,
really hoping it doesn't.
I mean,
But
It's obvious that she likes him, but I don't know if he likes her in that same way.
I know. But that's usually how it goes. It's like he's kind of like the cool one, and then the female character is usually the one that's all blushy.
I'm sorry, but he looks like her dad.
I know.
It's just weird.
It is weird.
And, you know, after last episode, I can't say that it's not going to go that direction, because clearly the creators of this don't seem to have much qualms about lollies, but... And of course, I don't know. I don't want that one to go that way.
I mean,
I'm fine
I
if
don't either.
We end up getting a romance subplot between some characters. Just don't do those two. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so far the relationship to me has been like they're either just like buddy cops, or in other instances it's kind of like it's almost like she's his little sister or something.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
good with that.
mind that.
That's a perfectly fine dynamic for the two of them. Let's not make it weird. And how's Cecile gonna feel at that point?
I don't know.
You know she's probably still holding a torch for Kay. Who wouldn't? I sure as hell would. Yeah.
He's a man of culture. He likes food.
He's a snob, yeah. But everyone's calling him a snob anyway. But yeah. Oh, I guess the not priest survived being crushed by a thing. We never really found out much else that was going on there, but I guess it really didn't matter in the end.
I think
we knew
it
who the
was
bad guy
like because he was working with the smuggler.
Yeah.
And like I think that was like the only thing going on with that storyline. Because it was within the first 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
So that was just tying up a little loose thread before we moved on to what we were actually getting to the point of.
Yeah, but we had to have it, you know, for the comedy.
Yeah. Of course we did.
You got the jokes and whatnot. But, yeah, so we're finally getting back to Carmen Zaldonado. And your Carmen Desposito. What have I been calling him? Carmen Desposito?
Yeah.
Esposito.
Carmen Desposito is back doing his old zombie tricks for whatever means. Who knows? Just feels like a D&D campaign to some degree.
Yeah.
And I
They
feel
took
like...
too many side quests, though.
Yeah, you could... Well, those are the side quests between the main branches of the campaign. The DM had to do some writing. Because clearly this is some kind of homebrew that they got going on here.
Yeah.
And I know, I could make this comparison to any type of fantasy setting thing, any type of... Really, you could do anything. Like, compare it to anything.
I guess Kay is like a gunslinger kind of character.
Yeah.
Talarna's basically the mage.
No, she's a paladin, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that works too.
Way more paladin than anything else.
That's true.
I don't know, if it were an actual campaign, you know, you'd have a lot more people involved, I guess, as regular players. But it doesn't really matter, because, you know, it works as the buddy cop thing that it is. But yeah, the evil necromancy wizard is back, killing off politicians and that sort of stuff, and we don't really get to know what his end game is. Obviously, he's probably going to be connected to the other politician who was corrupt and, you know, was involved with a sex ring thing.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen the depths of that yet. What was that?
Sorry. That was my phone being loud.
Oh dear, someone's getting a late night text. Gav, you getting
Not-
booty called?
No, not quite. I forgot to mute my phone, though.
I see. That's alright. What else? Anything else happening in this? Is it safe to say we enjoyed this episode better than the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for some pretty simple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm glad we're getting back into plot.
Yay.
I'm glad our main antagonist is back, and they're
Yes.
hooking up with
I
the
was
other.
gonna say, I'm like, when is Zalata coming back?
Yeah.
It has to be soon, because this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the final 3 episodes coming up, so they'll have to finish up the story.
Yeah, so they gotta be wrapping up something, or at least finishing off. Like, the only thing that I'm hoping isn't gonna happen is, like, they make up a final plot that wasn't established anywhere. For, like, I feel like that's always, like, how a lot of 12-episode shows go. Like, I don't know if you guys remember. You guys remember number 6?
Yeah.
I remember watching some of that whenever we were in Anime Club. And it was like, they had a decent plot going. It was basically gay V for Vendetta. And then in the last 3 or 4 episodes, it turned into a combination of, like, Zelda, Akira, still had some V for Vendetta, but, like, it was like a plot that just didn't make any sense to me. And I'm sure it was just because they, like, crammed some stuff from the manga or whatever, and it just didn't make sense. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen here, because I've seen that happen where people are just like, hey, we had this good pacing for the show, or at least decent pacing, and it was going well, but we forgot to establish, you know, the end game. We forgot to establish, like, the final act, so we're just gonna cram everything into that last little bit and hope that it works.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case.
I
know what you're talking about.
I hope that's not the case either. It's just, the thing is, I'm trying to think of anything else they've, like, set up throughout this to use as, like, their final plot element type stuff. We had this stuff in the beginning, but that pretty much resolved itself. So, unless he's just trying to nuke everyone again and turn everyone into a bunch of zombies. Which, I mean, yeah, there's possibilities there, I suppose. But that just feels like whenever you rebuild yet another Death Star. What do you guys think?
I kind of got lost with where this train of thought was going.
I feel like they had... Okay. Too long didn't read. I feel
Yes.
like they haven't set up enough main plot stuff
Oh.
throughout the series
Yeah, no.
to properly
definitely
establish whatever the final conflict will be.
not. Yeah, like, they took way too much time in the middle there where they could have been doing something else.
And I was enjoying the middle. There was some good character stuff in there.
Yeah, but you can do that in bits and pieces during the course, motorcycle, of the actual plot.
Yeah. Little bits and bobs. Just drip us some plot every now and then. But I feel like they didn't do that, and I'm a little worried that the ending is going to fall flat for that reason.
I mean...
Though I could be wrong.
I don't know. This is a 12-episode anime. I'm not really expecting it to, like, get a second season. So if it falls flat, meh? I know that kind of sounds like I don't care, which is not the case. I do care. But it's just the fact that, like, there's so much more that they could have done with the middle section of episodes that I feel like they didn't take the opportunity to try with some different other stuff with that.
It's like they went with a generic, the generic premise during the middle episodes, whereas at the beginning it set off more of an intrigue than what was than what we were expecting.
Like,
Yeah.
had they done more, I guess, exposition dumpy kind of things sort of in the middle with, like, world building and stuff like that?
Yeah, you never got your lore dump.
No, I did not, and I'm disappointed, and they wasted so much time doing other things where they could have been shoving that in there.
Chibi's pissed.
I am. Like, we could have gotten some stuff on Kay's background in the war. We could have gotten some more stuff about the other world.
I feel like everything that you're asking for right there, the information on the other world, Kay's backstory, all that stuff might get crammed into these last 3 episodes. And it's going to feel rushed.
No, don't do that. I hate it when they rush things.
I feel like that's just going to happen.
Building without rushing.
Or it's spread out throughout the light novel or manga, and we just haven't gotten to it yet.
I mean, if that's the case as well, that's fine. We already know that Carmen Desposito was part of Kay's backstory anyway, so we're going to get a portion of that no matter what.
Yeah.
No.
Whether it's
How many
his whole
episodes
thing.
is this again?
Like 12?
Yeah. I think.
And what episode are we on? Like 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm afraid it's gonna get crammed too.
I don't. No. I hate it when they do this.
It's unfortunate.
I mean, we all could be wrong. The next 3 episodes could be great, so we'll at least have a little optimism, hopefully. Maybe not.
I don't know. I'm trying to find, like, because we always say, like, you know, how many episodes this is or how many whatever, but, like, do we actually know for sure? Because, like, I've never actually seen anyone with, like, an episode list or, like, here's how many things were commissioned.
According to the website My Anime List, which is pretty accurate, they said it's going to be 12 episodes.
Okay. All right. Because, like, if this thing was going for
Well,
16 episodes, I was going to be like, oh, that's more than enough to continue doing stuff.
Well, they don't usually go over into 16. They usually stop around the 11 to 13 episode mark, because that's usually all they can fit into one season, and then if they have more than that, it rolls over into leftovers for next season.
Yeah,
Which
Japan
usually
has
means they're going to put it, like, at the 24, 26 mark.
Yeah, Japan has I just found this out recently. Japan has... It's spread out through cores, and a core is 12 episodes. Most animes, unless they're double billed, are usually 12 to 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Alright.
Speaking of, I gotta update my anime list.
Alright.
Gotta update that we're on episode 9 now.
Speaking of, since we're going to probably be running out of stuff soon, we got to, at some point, start figuring out for fall what we're going to be watching.
Yeah, because that starts up in October. I've actually been looking at the anime live chart website, looking through some of the stuff. A few things seem kind of interesting. Most of it's kind of meh. But
well,
there's a lot of sequels.
Well, yeah, and that's going to be an issue.
Sequels,
Unless there's a
lot of
Copcraft sequel coming out
leftovers.
right afterwards, that's going to be an issue.
No, probably not.
Guys, let's just watch Boruto.
I haven't watched much since the beginning of that, so I'd
I will
be
be
a little
sitting
lost.
out for that one. Thank you.
I've never watched Naruto, so like...
I haven't either, and I don't plan on starting it now.
Am I the
My
only one who
apologies
watched
to
that?
anyone who actually cares.
Am I the only one who watched that show?
I think so.
You guys missed out. You guys missed out hard.
Yeah, I didn't watch it growing up.
Oh my god.
I wasn't really allowed to watch a lot of edgy anime growing up, so...
Naruto's edgy?
My parents didn't let me watch Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, wow. That's...
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's something. Well, you're an adult now.
Yep.
Go back and watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Go relive your early 2000s childhood you weren't allowed to have.
Alright. So are we done with Copcraft?
Well, we should say that it's a yay still. We're finishing this. We're too deep in not to finish it at this point.
Unless they do something really stupid.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It had to be really stupid. I mean, we didn't drop it after last week, so.
That wasn't necessarily... Okay, yes, it was stupid, but that was more just like, ugh, I'm fed up right now, rather than it actually just being something that's like, oh my god, why did you just do that? Yeah. What is this horrendous piece of garbage?
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a yay, and hopefully it won't
get any worse.
Hopefully it won't fall apart at the end, like so many other animes do. So let's move on to our other anime, which, quite frankly, if you want to pace out and do a plot-driven show, this has been a really Kanata no Astra.
If they nail the ending, which I think,
oh my god, yeah,
it's gonna be a 10 for me. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I love this show.
Yeah,
it's really good.
This show, it's getting close. It's getting right up there with Madoka, and Madoka is my favorite. So, it's getting very close to being either second or at a tie.
Well, I got a couple anime to show you then, including Naruto. But
Well, I know you love Bebop, but don't show me Naruto.
Yeah, Bebop has one of the best endings of all time. If you haven't seen that, I mean, it's right up there with Madoka and Code Geass and a couple other really good ones.
I'm rating Kanata no Astra as a masterpiece on my anime list as we speak.
Ooh.
If it sticks the landing, I'll call it a masterpiece, because this one had me from the beginning, and it's kept me interested the whole time. And you know what? Let's save analysis for later. Let's get in what happened this week.
Okay, boy. We found out that apparently, as far as history goes, Paulina, who is from Earth, apparently our Earth, like, we know the history of our Earth, like
we do.
Cuban Missile Crisis and things like that. However,
didn't really go anywhere.
The people of planet Astra had a World War III.
Yes, they did.
It lasted 2 months.
And then basically, like, there was a united world government that took over, and basically, like, it became very peaceful. But
it was very post Watchmen.
Yeah.
If anyone's read that, if you haven't, read it. It's a seminal piece of literature.
I've read Watchmen. I haven't read the sequel yet.
You don't need to read the sequel.
Okay.
Just read Watchmen.
I did read Watchmen.
So, anyway, so that was that. That's their history. Apparently for Earth, in the year 2049, I believe it was, an asteroid was going to be coming to hit the Earth in about 8 years. Was it?
Yeah, it was gonna. I think something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, because it was supposed to land in 2057. So what happened was that they were looking basically for what Star Trek calls M-class planets, which are habitable planets for humans, so they can take everyone and push them somewhere else.
The interstellar thing that I talked about last time.
Yes. And they did it using...
I'd like to point out, did no one want to try the Armageddon approach with the asteroid? You know, we send up a team of oil riggers up to the asteroid, drill down into it, pop a nuke in there, big Michael Bay explosion. I mean, you know, you play Aerosmith in the background the whole time. It's stupid, but it works.
It's too much debris. Anyway.
No, it splits perfectly in half and goes on 2 sides of the planet, and this is completely unrealistic, but who gives a shit? It's Michael Bay.
Alright. Whatever. He gets a pass for that. But anyway.
I don't think many people give him a pass for that.
No.
No, The Rock's his best movie.
So anyway, so what they did was they used wormhole technology to transport everyone to this new planet, which this planet was, I guess, yeah,
It's
like
Planet Astra.
yeah, it's Planet Astra, and basically like, because everyone's like, they're talking about like placement of countries and things like that, where it sounds like the Earth is basically like Astra, but the continents and countries are not exactly the same as they were.
Yeah, it's close enough that it was an easy translation.
Yeah. But the thing is that like in their culture, I guess for the United World Government, their culture is don't dwell on the past, focus on the future, where they call the history prior to World War III the old era.
Yeah.
And anything after is considered the new era, and it's basically like to the point that they didn't even know that they were from planet Earth. Like they didn't know humans came from another place.
Which is weird
So-
because because according to Paulina, this should have all happened in about 8 years. They should only have been on the Astra for about 8 years. How is
Yeah.
it no one remembers this stuff? And I started like going into a couple of different theories, none of which
I was
entirely
starting
made
to
sense.
think like alternate world lines and things like that, and I was
See, when you do get into the wormhole thing, that is
That
within the
makes-
realm of possibility, but
yeah.
it's still like I feel like there's still some holes in that theory.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That like it's all one big conspiracy. On top of whatever else is going on.
But my
Which
only
we're gonna
problem
get
with
to here in
the
a sec.
huge conspiracy is that like how can you get everyone to go along with that?
I don't know.
That's
Like
true.
I said, they're not
Like
dwelling on
no
the
one
past.
talked. No one out of the entire
No
human
one
race.
talked. Mm-hmm.
I find that very hard to believe, but regardless, it's still a situation of like there's been a lot of misinformation that's been going around. We're not entirely sure what's going on. Oh, apparently the ice planet that we found at the beginning, that was Earth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the asteroid hit it, nuclear winter happened, and the whole thing became Hoth.
Yep. Basically.
And that's why the
This
hole
is-
spat them out there, because they were basically going backwards through the hole that got them to Astra.
Yeah.
What were we saying, Gav?
I was gonna say maybe they killed anyone who talked.
You'd
That
have to
could be
kill
it.
a lot of friggin'
Well-
people, man.
Well, then there's a thing where Olgar's brother was basically saying that people know too much, or they like don't want people to know too much, or what was the line? I remember something.
Yeah, the secrets and whatnot. I get that, but I assume that had something to do with the clone thing.
I
See,
mean,
that's
I
what
did
made sense to
too,
me.
But
You're
I'm starting to
talking-
wonder like how this all fits together with the clone thing.
Unless the entire population of the planet is cloned, in which case, what's the problem with cloning? Just cover it up. It's not that big a deal. But I have a lot of trouble believing that. Okay, even if we say the population of the planet was cut in half or
Right.
lower,
Mm-hmm.
you convinced at least 2 billion people or more to just forget that Earth ever existed and blah, blah, blah. We're going to hide this from the entire generation. And nobody talked. And you were able to kill everyone that might have talked.
Right.
I don't know.
That's like
it's
genocide
like-
on such a massive scale.
It's like any, like, utopian that's really a dystopian novel, though, where they, like, destroy all the books from, like, the previous life and stuff because they don't want people to, like, learn
refer
about
to
it
it?
or
Okay,
whatever.
I see what
Yeah.
you're saying, and I agree with you, but at the same time, a lot of those tend to be, like, almost half a century in the future. This is 8
May I-
years. You're telling me
May I
that
remind you
you were
that
able to
our
do all this in 8
population-
years?
May I remind you that our population was also cut in half.
Okay, yeah, but we have like 8 billion people on the planet. There's 4 billion people that got to Astra. You were able to police 4 billion people to never talk about old Earth. And they just forgot about it in 8 years.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Unless you I just don't see it happening.
Wait a minute. What? World War III didn't happen in Paulina's version of the events. I think World War III is made up.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what we're assuming a little bit. That's the narrative for, the New World Government and whatnot. But if we're assuming to some degree that Paulina's thing is true to an extent, and they just got off the planet, that means they've only been on Astra 8 years. How do you cover up the fact you all came from a planet 8 years ago?
Hang on. If they can implant someone's intelligence into another body, could they maybe also take away your memories?
That's within the realm of possibilities, too. But to do that to 4 billion people...
I mean...
And no one
questions it? I mean, when you do that, who's going to be there to question it? Who's going to be there to question anything that you're telling them? Especially if you're getting rid of all the old books.
Okay, but, you had to have a ton of people agree with that to do that to begin with.
Who said they had to agree?
Okay, so you're saying that they had such massive amnesia machines that they were able to zap, Men in Black mind wipe everyone's brain.
Yes.
To not remember it.
Yes.
Okay.
They have technology to create wormholes. Why can't they do that?
I have a hard time believing that they could manage it.
So do I, but in this context, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Until they present whatever the next thing is.
It's an anime.
I guess so, but for the most part, this thing, again, has gone pretty, real science type stuff. A bit of leeway with alien planets and whatnot, but...
Well, let's also not forget, too, there's 2 more episodes left, and they've done a good job of explaining the motivations and backstory so far, so maybe they'll use the last 2 episodes to explain what happened. Especially since the show of the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we've basically just been covering the first half of the episode this whole time.
Yay!
Truth.
Let's get to the other part. So Kanata, while he's foraging for food, gets... Oh wait, we should mention him and Ares. He wants to walk her home when they get back.
Oh yeah.
That's like third base in anime, man. He's just getting in there now.
Well, the episode scared me a lot in the beginning, towards the middle, because when Kanata and Ares were talking, I thought, oh no, are they the ones that are going to be behind it all? They're going to be hidden traitors. Like, oh no, don't do this to me.
Come on.
And then
First of all, Kanata would never be that person because he's the person who's having the inner monologue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless he's completely unaware that he's doing it.
As is Ares as well.
Well, the thing with Ares is, we haven't really gotten a whole lot on her yet. So, she's still pretty ambiguous, but she's too much of a cinnamon roll at this point.
But, yeah, Kanata decides, he thinks, quote unquote, that Olgar's the traitor, and so he...
Yeah, because he got chased down by a wormhole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It popped up again. And he's thinking, well, the killer is probably going to strike now before we get back home. This is the last planet. It was game theory. It was I'm going to help everybody else out because it's going to help me out. But the moment that I don't need him anymore, that's when I'm going to drop him. So that's the situation that they're in now. And yeah, he brings up to Charles and Zachary, I think it's Olgar. He got a wormhole generator and a gun, and we got to get both of them off of him. Mm-hmm. Things are not good.
But then it turns out the plan was really to catch the real traitor all along, and something that Al called probably by week 5. It was Charles.
It was Charles. Everybody say it together. Al called it. I forget how long ago I said it was him.
A long time ago, but even then, I was also sort of thinking it.
He's suspicious. He's just
Not
suspicious.
necessarily even he's suspicious, but it's just like, we didn't get backstory on him for a while, and even then, it's just kind of like...
It's like
the circumstances in which he explains his backstory also don't completely make sense, but...
Nope. A lot of holes. But yeah, so he had a wormhole generator, then in a key fob, and yeah, and he admits it to everyone. It's like, yep, I was the attempted murderer the whole time. I sabotaged the ship, I did this, I did that, and I got back here, and they're like, you're not a very good murderer. He's like, I know. It doesn't matter now, I guess. And, big revelation that he's the clone of another clone, and he's the clone of some king, and it's like, well, who cares? We already knew that, kind of.
We already knew you were basically the clone of a noble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not make you the clone of a king?
Does it matter specifically that it's the king? But they were like, oh, this is the cliffhanger line. I'm like, we don't know the king. It's like,
no, because almost nothing about that part of their society has been explained yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they explained that it's the last monarchy on the planet.
Yeah, well,
but who cares?
The thing with that is, though, I think like they left us with that final statement in order to like get us to come back. It's like, well, who's this king?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Did they think we weren't coming back? We need to see these people get home. I have been waiting
invested.
So long for these people to be able to find the killer and get home. We did one. Now we need to hit two and get back at all the people who put them in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that, like, it's important because the king is also in on the cloning thing, and he's like,
obviously in on the cloning thing.
And
he is a clone.
Well, yeah, and he's, like, a ruler, so that's, like, important. Like, oh god, now people who are part of the government are in on cloning, and...
Well...
So was Lucas' dad.
My whole thing is just, like...
Yeah,
How much of its backstory is fabricated? And then another thing is, if it's not fabricated, like, how, like, I guess, like, having the clone of a king out there living in the world with another family is kind of bad, I guess. So you have to go round him up and throw him on the ship with the rest of them.
I mean, I think that was more of just a, we have a cloning problem. But I think what we want to know is why he agreed to it. Like, why would you agree to kill off all these people and yourself to cover up the mistakes of someone else? It's weird. And I'm going to be interested to see his explanation on the whole thing, which we'll probably get next time. But
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get something.
We better, because that's like... justify this to me somehow,
Yeah.
It's just amazing how far we've come in 10 weeks. It started off with a show about a bunch of supposed teenagers getting lost in space, and now we're talking about clones and inner wormhole travel and conspiracies. And
it's a good story. Some good storytelling in this show. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Truth.
Like, this is how an anime is supposed to go.
Yeah. Some
This is the kind of
other animes need
pacing.
to take some notes.
Yeah, this is the kind of pacing that you need if you're going to write a 12-episode anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to take something that's a bit longer, like, don't cram things in or, like, give us, like, non-essential episodes for character development. Like,
Yeah.
figure out ways in order to make it, like, all interconnect and not be boring and give us plot where we need it. Because otherwise, it's just a crap ton of filler all right there in the middle. And no one wants to wade through that. Like, what they did with Sword Art Online. First 2 episodes, absolutely great. I got to the next couple episodes, and I'm like, I am so bored.
Yeah, I dropped out of that like around episode 6 or 7.
And people wonder why I don't like it.
It just didn't do enough for me as far as like, working with the situation. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to go here and meet this person who's going to be part of my harem.
And the thing is like, and I guess like a couple episodes after I dropped out of watching it was when they got back into the plot. I'm like, no.
Well, you know what
Plot
happened?
everywhere.
It's because the author of the manga, he made a separate volume that was just nothing but side stories, and that's what they pulled from for those couple episodes. Which
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Well, if they hadn't done that, then it would have been like a 5-episode series.
No, apparently they cut a lot of stuff out from the main story from that was in the manga or the light novel, excuse me.
That's dumb.
Then why not pull from that? That could have been some good information.
Could have just done the whole thing, and then pull a what was it? Full Metal Panic. You want to put your little stupid side stories as a whole separate season. I watched it. You guys didn't watch Full Metal Panic, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I watched like a couple episodes.
All right. They had a third season that was just literally nothing but side stories and exactly what you're talking about, and it was fun. But they didn't have to bog down the main story with it.
Well, the thing is like, if you go in knowing that it's going to just be nothing but, like, side stories and just, like, an episodic season, that's fine. But it's another thing if you know it's going to be, like, a serial thing, and
they
no
just bog you
plot.
down with filler.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
That's why we skipped the last third of Naruto.
Still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I know. Forget which one it was. It's like everything after episode 150 is pointless. I think it's that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds dumb.
Well, it was like they were... I guess there was like a lot of extra... Like they hadn't developed the plot of the sequel series that much yet, and they were just like, we need to do filler.
Unnecessary. No.
Well, now that it's all over and done with, we can just, we just skip around to what we need. So, it's not that bad anymore.
I know.
Oh no, it's everything after 135 is filler, except for 2 episodes.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's like, I'm looking at, someone has made a fortunate, a canon and filler list for Naruto, and it's like, episode 1 through 25, canon. Episode 26, filler. 27 to 96, canon. 97, filler. One filler episode every now and then, that's fine.
That's
whatever.
fine.
Especially in a longer running series, but then it's like, it gets up to canon, 107 to 135, then 136 to 140 is filler, 141 is canon, then 142 to 219 is filler.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all filler.
Yeah, that's how many is that?
What?
That's 77 episodes of filler in a row.
Why would you do that?
Because I guess they ran out of stuff to do.
It's not okay. I understand
yeah.
it's a popular series and you don't want to let go of your cash cow, but dude!
It happened a while ago. You can't really be complaining about it now.
I mean, I know this, but
I mean, my friends who used to watch Dragon Ball Z growing up said there was an episode where Goku learned to drive, so that was a thing.
wait, really?
Well, yeah, that's a filler episode. Yeah. That's just one episode, though. Was it? It wasn't. He didn't spend 19 episodes on a 5-minute driving test, though.
No.
So that's, there's 1,000,001 different ways to do filler, and every show has its own way of doing it. Dragon Ball Z will loop them screaming for a long time, and Naruto will go off and faff about on some other ninja quest that will have nothing to do with the main plot, and everyone's got a way of doing it. But yeah. There was no filler in Kanata. We should actually get back to what we were talking about, I think. We get on tangents too much.
No filler.
No, but this was a good series. I can't wait to see how it ends. Definitely a yay for me. Heck, I might watch this again at some point just to see if I'm missing like some details or something. Yeah.
I
If you
wonder
haven't
if
been
like,
watching it, watch it.
I wonder if like sometime next year they'll actually do a dub of this show.
I think they have a dub of it now. It's
I
just
was
like
gonna say-
3 or 4 episodes behind, so I wasn't gonna
Yeah,
like...
I was gonna say, I know Funimation's pretty quick on the draw of getting dubs up, like, almost, like, a couple weeks after the Japanese releases are out. So.
Yeah, I think they might be like work on the dubs as the show is being made. That way they can just have it out.
Well, I mean, they get the licensing prior to, I think, it releasing in Japan, so they're already working on it. They just have a later release date.
Well, yeah, it's gonna happen, but like, yeah, whatever works. And if it's working for them, it's working for them. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on to? We'll be watching this next week, so we'll move on to Steins Gate, and we're getting into the big old slide toward the climax of the plot. We have officially time traveled these episodes.
Yep.
And Okabe, after watching Mayuri die, has decided to pop his brain into a microwave and then send himself to the past to try to stop it from happening, but it just keeps happening over and over. These last 2 episodes were just basically Groundhog Day, where your best friend dies.
Yep.
Or the Mystery Spot episode for Supernatural, which was also Groundhog Day. And
Or the
Ian keeps
entirety of Madoka.
Yeah, it's also true.
Spoilers for Madoka if you haven't seen it, but if you're on our channel, I don't know why you haven't seen Madoka.
Yeah,
Watch this
really,
show.
though.
But yeah, and she dies in a lot of different ways, and he's like trying to figure out every different way that he can possibly try to save her or do something, whether it's like get her out of town or he actually just tries to run a lot, but no way are they getting out because fate wants her dead. This is like a Final Destination episode. He tries going after Moeka before they get her, but that doesn't work either. She got back up. And eventually they're just like, we gotta figure out something else. And,
The universe just wants Mayuri to die, even when the Rounders don't have anything to do with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not they accidentally pushes her in front of a subway train, killing her instantly. And Okabe,
yeah.
are you kidding me?
Wait, that's, wow. You got killed, murked by a 5-year-old. But, yeah. So, eventually, Okabe's like, I gotta maybe talk to some other people about this situation, see if I can't figure out a way to fix this shit. So he talks to Kurisu to better improve the phone wave, hopefully, and get that thing to work a little bit better and see what they can work on as far as fixing the situation. Suzuha gets involved, because she's from the future and she's Don Teeter, she reveals. And it's like, hey, so we gotta fix this world line thing, and I'm telling you how to do it, and it's confusing, but hey, you gotta hit events. Some events you can hit hard enough to change world lines and make things better. Some you just can't. So, Okabe's finding out that it was Okabe who sent Suzuha back to meet younger Okabe. So many reveals in this one, and yet we're only scratching the surface of what is to come. What'd you guys think?
I mean, obviously I love it, but but what did you guys think rewatching it?
Oof.
I feel like I understand the science a little bit better than I did the first time around.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Rebellion when we watched that.
Yeah. It's also a lot easier watching it in dub than sub.
I thought we
When it
originally
comes to,
watched
like-
it in dub.
We did, but hearing him explain it a second time helps it make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
a lot
the first time
easier
watching it, you're
than
kind of
reading it.
just. I think like the first time watching it, you're just kind of like, what the hell is going on? But then now that you know what's happening, it's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense now.
We feel like we already have the footnotes.
Yeah.
And now we can understand everything in the text.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. And it's still enjoyable. It's not repeat viewing. There's not really like a loss of like. There's a bit of a loss of tension because I guess you kind of know what's happening, but it's still entertaining all the same.
Yeah. And the show is just like, and to quote one of our favorite internet memes, this show is like an onion. It has so many different layers to it, and the more you peel, the more you understand of it.
Someone's a Shrek
yeah.
fan, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
Who isn't a Shrek fan on the internet anymore?
They were
Me?
showing that over at
What?
what? What?
This surprises
What?
you?
What?
What?
Mwah?
You don't like
sound-
Shrek?
Blocked, unfriended, reported.
I mean, I don't mind it. It's just I'm not. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. It is not a religion for me.
Wow.
Did you like the first two movies?
Yeah, they're fine. I like them to watch
Okay
them.
then.
I actually recently went to see there was a theater around here that was actually showed Shrek the other week. So me and you went to that.
Ooh, guys. So I have a thing to bring up. Maybe in a bit. Maybe later. I don't know. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. But it has
You heard it
something to do
here,
with
folks. Chibi
animals
has something to
watch.
say later.
All right.
It might not be important. But
Okay.
Okay.
There's something for you guys later. It might be important. It might not. But Chibi will say it, maybe. We are wrapped with anticipation.
shut up. I'm having a rough week, okay?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Aw.
What else do we have to say
Guys.
about Steins Gate?
Oh. Nothing really.
It's like it's hard to go in by individual episodes on this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like you just want to talk about like everything that's going to happen. But you can only talk about it a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
The characters are still nice, and we know how he's going to have to talk to Kurisu every time, playing into her ego and talking about spoons.
Yep.
Because everyone needs a good old monogram spoon.
And she also wants her own personal fork.
Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful forks. And that's how you get a time machine running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was that. There was all that good stuff of trying to figure out how to save my Yuri, and we still haven't figured out how to do that because we're not going to figure out how to do that for a while. We got another like 10 episodes of this series.
Ye-
And there's a lot that's going to be going on in that time.
The next group of episodes will have more backstory on Suzuha, and there'll be some revelations for her that'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mm.
Ugh, it's like I want to talk about stuff, but I don't want to talk about stuff because it hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think like once the final episode ends, we could just binge.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about everything at that point.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering who's watching this with us that hasn't fully seen the series yet.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess a lot of our thoughts will have to be saved for our final episode, which will be in October, I guess, for what we'll say about Steins Gate. But in the meantime, the plot summaries we'll have to do.
Yeah.
Anywho, do we have anything else to say about that? We're going on to the next episodes of that anyway.
Right.
Chibi, do you have something to tell everyone?
Oh no. Okay, so, you guys know how they have like Ghibli movies that they'll play?
Yes.
So I think like they have like one coming out like each month in theaters. So maybe
yeah.
we can do that for a retrospective. Like
Yeah,
a
I'm down for
Ghibli
that.
Movie?
Cool.
So, because I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, for September they've got The Secret World of Arrietty. For October, they have Spirited Away. For November, Princess Mononoke. For December, they have The Tale of Princess Kaguya. House Moving Castle and some of the other ones, like, they don't have it necessarily, like, I think those have already all come out, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be. So,
Well, we can double check with that kind of stuff and
yeah.
see. Even if we don't do it for a review, I'm down for going to a movie at any time. So
Yeah. But that was what I wanted to talk about. That was my kind of maybe important thing.
Okay.
we can use those for a movie review at some point. I'm fine with that. Oh, I know this month we're doing A Silent Voice, and yeah, well, that'll be out at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. I think that's it for this week.
Yeah.
Anyone else have
Yeah.
anything to go over?
Not really.
Okie dokie. So, next week, what is it? It's Kanata episode, well, it's Copcraft episode 10, I believe.
Yes.
Kanata episode 11,
Yep.
and Steins Gate 15 and 16?
15 and 16.
Yeah. So we'll be covering all those, doing all that good stuff, wonderful things to watch with all of you wonderful people listening, whatever this is considered.
Whatever y'all are doing.
Yeah. And, start mentioning now, we have a Discord and stuff.
Yeah, we do.
That's, link is in the description below. It's OutbackAl and Friends, and we have stuff on. I don't know that we have that much stuff on there, but it's a thing, and a nice man named Damien helped us to make it. And, yeah. So go check that out we might be on there every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come back and watch more of these or whatever, and still
Go
haven't
check
figured out
out
an
some of
outro.
our other stuff, I guess.
I kind of made a little video thing to go with that at the end of these episodes now, so it's something, I guess.
True.
All right, that's it for us. We'll talk again next week, and whenever we watch our things and do the whatever
Doodly-doo.
outro that I haven't figured out.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yep. Bye.
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 Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!